Welcome to Breakthrough with Lisa Nichols. I'm Lisa Nichols, and today I have a beautiful, beautiful soul with me, business owner, successful individual, Jennifer Perri. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. So tell me a little bit about your background, how you came up with your company, how you started it, and the clients that you serve.
Sure, absolutely. I'm from a really small town outside of Philadelphia called Eddystone, Pennsylvania. For some people, they may know it because Jennifer Aniston lived there for a really small period of time. But outside of that, that's where I grew up, a middle-class family. I lived in kind of a protective bubble most of my life until my parents divorced my senior year of high school. My first marriage was very abusive. He went to prison. I had two very small children that I had to raise. And the biggest area that I struggled with was finances. So I sought to kind of be the person for other women that I desperately needed and couldn't find. And that first thing was, how do I take care of two small children, no child support, recovering, learning all those things that I needed to do. So I went into finance. That's where I started my journey, but that's not where I'm at today. Today, I'm a transformational life and empowerment coach because I've had multiple challenges in my life. And that's what kind of have brought me to where I am today.
It sounds like you are the wounded healer.
In the new book that I have out with Dick Vitale, that's the name of my chapter, is Wounded Healer.
I came out of an abusive relationship. That's a lot.
Yes.
Prison. That's a lot. Taking care of two children, finances, the instability, the worry, so much in there. What was the emotional roller coaster like for you as you began to form your business out of this hurt and this need and the mission that it comes with?
I got to a point where I realized no one was coming to save me and I needed to save myself. So I decided that I wanted to use, at that point, everything that I had learned, kind of going against all of the nobody's going to miss you if anything happens to you, you're never going to be anything, all of those things that I dealt with through that decade of my life. I decided that, you know what, I have to use what I have learned through this whole experience to teach other people. You can do it yourself. You can get through this. And I think for me, going through all that I went through, I got to another chapter in my life that just happened 2 years ago, which completely shifted everything for me.
You remind me of the statement, stand on your story, not in your story. And while that's a powerful statement and true, sometimes your story, your experience can feel like quicksand.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and that it's like pulling at you. Did you ever have any doubts that you could do this business that you're doing and you could help people the way you want to help them? And if so, how did you gain the confidence in order to move through and navigate through the negative thoughts and to keep the faith in yourself, to keep the faith in Jennifer?
My biological father passed away. My mom remarried a pastor. So for 30 years, I had felt like I had a direct line to God. If there was something that was going on, I knew that I would call my dad and I would ask him about it. I think there was so many times where you sit by yourself and like you're talking about quicksand, you're not sure where to go. But I felt like I knew going through the 10 years that I spent with my first husband, I shouldn't have come out of that. There were so many times I shouldn't have been here. But I knew God wasn't finished with me. And I knew that no matter where I was going to go, he was there before me. There was a lot of times where I didn't believe in myself. But I tried to surround myself with people who believed in me. And I borrowed their beliefs in me until I could believe in myself and by myself.
You don't forget the scary moments. You don't forget the turning points. You don't forget the wonder. You don't forget the loneliness, and you don't forget the service. So I just want to let you know that I feel you in this journey. I feel where you are, and thank you for the courage to stand on your story. As ugly and messy as it was, it has beauty in it today. What was the big breakthrough moment for you in your business that you thought, this is gonna work? What was that big breakthrough moment?
2 years ago, 4 days before Christmas, we were running around getting everything together because Christmas is my favorite time of year. I think for a lot of people too. And I didn't feel good. There was something wrong. I didn't feel right. Went to my chiropractor. She said, let's just keep an eye on it, but if something's really wrong, we need to check it out. 2 days later, I was admitted into the hospital. I was in intensive care, and I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré Syndrome. And I could feel myself over the next 24 hours being just paralyzed from my feet. It just moved all the way up, and it stopped right here in my shoulders.
Take a moment and explain to me what that syndrome is.
So Guillain-Barré syndrome is a very rare neurological response in which disconnects the connectivity between your nerves and your brain. It takes off the coating of your nerves. So literally everything got stripped away, and I couldn't feel anything from my feet all the way up into my shoulders. And I was admitted into intensive care. I was in the room by myself, mind you, in a Depends.
Because you can't feel
Couldn't
anything.
feel anything. My husband went home. It hit us so fast. He had to make all kinds of arrangements for Christmas.
This is days before Christmas.
This is 4 days. And they had to figure out, am I going to end up on a ventilator? Because it prevents you from your ability to breathe.
Wow.
Or what are we going to do? So he went home, tried to figure out what we had to do with our dogs and holidays. And we didn't know anything about this syndrome. And I could literally feel myself. And I'm laying in this bed by myself in intensive care. And I'm like, as long as it stops here, I can still talk. If this is as good as it gets for me, God's going to still give me the ability to help other people, to pour myself into their lives because I could still speak to them.
Okay, hold on. You are laying in bed in intensive care. You have no mobility, no feel of any part of your body. All you have is your mind.
That's it.
And you're laying in bed thinking about how you can still serve other people.
Over the next 24, 48 hours, I had to get transported to another hospital in Atlanta, which anybody who has Guillain-Barré seems to be the best place to go because there was a 5-day treatment that I need to have to kind of prevent the paralysis from going any higher. So the 5th day of that, it had moved into my face. So then I had Bell's palsy. So then I was paralyzed from here all the way down to the tips of my toes. Through 20-some years of working with financial clients, I was coaching them indirectly. So I knew that I was helping them transition through things in their life, and they started reaching out to me. And all the words that I had given them for 20 years started flooding back into my life.
Okay, girl, you're going to just have me burst out into the ugly cry right now. So they turned around
Yes.
and started pouring back to you the things you had told them.
Yes. And one of them had sent me a towel, a little towel, and it said, you were assigned this mountain to show others that it could be moved.
Ooh.
And I knew when you get out of here, if you get out of here, you're going to dedicate your life to coaching other people through things that they never thought they could get through.
Climbing the mountain that they thought was unclimbable. So now you are at this specialist hospital.
Yes.
And you have paralysis from your head down, but you can still think.
I can still think. There was a portion of Guillain-Barré that affects your, obviously, your neurological.
Of course.
We had a lot of brain fog,
Yes.
but
I have brain fog.
I know you're going through menopause.
Yes,
Everybody
yes,
has
yes,
brain fog.
yes, yes.
Yes.
So now you're getting quotes back that
Yes.
from you, from your clients that you
Yes.
had given them indirectly. I
Yes.
heard you from doing financial coaching. You were kind of doing some life coaching too.
Right.
And these quotes are now feeding life back into you.
Exactly right. I had to learn how to use my hands again. I had to
Everything.
learn to everything. So here I was, 50 years old, learning how to walk again, learning how to use my hands, learning how to text, curl my hair, all those things all over again. If you would have told me at 50 years old,
Right.
I was going to be learning all of that, I would have told you that there was something wrong. There's no way.
Right.
So they didn't think that because of the severity, they didn't think I would walk for a year and a half at least. They let me go. We got home. I started having people come in and work with me. And 56 days later, I took my
Come
first
on.
steps.
How many days later?
56. 8 weeks, 56.
Oh,
Yep.
I love it. I love it. And that was the mountain that you moved.
Yes, it was. Guillain-Barré has triggered Addison's disease. We just recently found out because one autoimmune triggers another. But I still have a lot of mountains to move, and I'm not, obviously God's not finished with me yet, but I think I'm at my point of I don't need any more things to be thrown my way
Yes.
to transform.
You are a walking sign of possibility. I won't even say miracle. I would say intentionality. Obviously, with this kind of thing, you go through your own doubts. What is it that you tell yourself? I think I just heard something about the mountain. I still got more mountains to move. What is it that you constantly tell yourself to keep getting up?
I'm going to go through a lot of things in my life, and there's a lot of different chapters, but this is my story, and I'm the only person who can write it.
I love how your words came back and they served you. What would you say is the best piece of advice that you would give to someone who's literally looking for a breakthrough?
I think just try no matter what they can to believe in themselves, figure out what their flow is, figure out where they feel the most fulfilled. I had a very successful financial business and practice, but I wasn't fully fulfilled. And I had to go through what I went through. And even though it was hard, I wouldn't change a thing because I feel like I'm doing now the things in my life, my passion and my purpose and stuff that's fulfilling for me. I think just surround yourself with the right people, surround yourself with positive people and the people that are doing and are achieving the things you already want. Because as Tony Robbins says, success leaves, clues. Follow them, know your tribe, surround yourself with the right people.
I know that there's so many people that look at your story and there's a sense of awe, like, oh my God. There's someone out there who wants to learn more about you. They want to reach out and touch you. They want to be served by you. They want to have you in their corner. How can they find you?
Look up my name, Jennifer Perri with an I.com, or go out to my calendar and it's just talkwithjennifer.com just to have a conversation to figure out if there's a way that I can pour myself into their life and help them get through something that they're not sure of.
You were having a wildly successful experience in the financial advisory industry, but you weren't quite fulfilled. And sometimes there's a pivot for a reason. There's a pause for a reason.
Absolutely.
For you to prioritize what your heart is asking for. I want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your story and your vulnerability with us. Thank you for reminding us that it's not about counting how many times you've gotten knocked down. It's about counting how many times you're committed to get back up. That's what I hear from you. I'm so honored to be with you. I'm Lisa Nichols, and this is Breakthrough with Lisa Nichols. And I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Jennifer as much as I did. We'll have some more.